norm x mod y cos theta, and that we substituted here, value of cos theta we substituted here, and when you simplify this as shown on this will be x1 y2 minus x2 y1 whole square, and that will be absolute value, because positive square root we are taking, so absolute value of x1 y2 minus x2 y1, and this one we denote by determinant x1 x2 y1 y2, and this x1 x2 first column and y1 y2 second column, and they are the coordinates of the vertices P and R. So here we are taking absolute value, so determinant of the matrix x1 x2 y1 y2, we call it sign area or sign volume. Here we are concerning with area, so it is sign area, but this can be generalized for 3-dimensional and in general n-dimensional, but that remains the same. When you take 3-dimensional, then it is parallelepiped. 2-dimensional is parallelogram, 3-dimensional is usual parallelepiped, as shown, and just so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thus the absolute value of determinant, you can see on the screen there is written, thus the absolute value of determinant of a 2x2 matrix whose columns are the vectors x and y of R2 is the absolute value of determinant x1 x2 y1 y2, or you can write x1 y1 x2 y2, you can take the transpose, it doesn't matter, determinant value does not change there, which is the area of the parallelogram spanned by two vertices P and R, as just now shown by Professor V.R. Trivedi on paper. Therefore, we can think of determinant as a signed area of parallelogram spanned by x and y. More generally, let us define n parallelepiped, we call it in brief, in short, NPPD. Let us define that. Let Vi, I from 1 to n, collection of n vectors, subset of V is a vector space, be n vectors in an n-dimensional vector space over a field R. So basically when we say over a field R n-dimensional, that means basically V is nothing but Rn, n copies of R. The n parallelepiped NPPD box V1, V2 up to Vn, this symbol stands for spanning set, a set spanned by the vectors V1, V2 up to Vn, is defined as, you can see the definition in curly braces, set of all vectors small v contained in capital V, which is written as linear combination of all the n vectors v1, v2 up to vn, and special type of linear combination where alpha i's are taken between 0 and 1. So we call this as a convex combination basically. So when we take such a convex combination, we are bound to get a parallelepiped in n dimension. It is convex combination of vi's, and the vectors are called the n vertices of the PPD. Now here in this generalized case, if we take n value as 2 or 3, we get in two case we get a parallelogram which just now has been explained already, and its volume is basically area. 2 volume, we can say 2 volume is a basic area. Now when we talk about n equal to 3, we actually enter into 3D, R3. Here 3 PPD is a usual parallelepiped. One can think about the picture of parallelepiped which is available here. I'll just show you. This is a parallelepiped, you can see. So a box basically in 3D. So volume of this parallelepiped one can obtain again using the determinant concept, where we take 3 vertices as shown in the figure, V1, V2 and V3. These 3 vectors when we take as the column vectors of a matrix and we talk about determinant, we'll get some answer that will be negative or positive, but when we talk about positive value, that becomes the volume of such a figure, such a box. So that is about n equal to 2 and 3, and similarly one can talk about signed volume of NPPD, a generalized version. So determinant now basically can be realized as a function from Vn to R, and this determinant function has very nice properties, beautiful properties, which you are going to see hereafter. Before we talk about the properties, let us declare a unit of measurement. So in any kind of measurement we need a unit against which the others are measured. We declare it unit volume 1. If we choose the basis as E1, E2 up to En, these are n independent vectors, suppose we make this as a basis of V, then determinant of E1, E2 up to En we declare as 1, and that becomes the unit of measurement, using which we can talk about the n dimensional volume. If these vectors are dependent, linearly dependent, they generate at most n minus 1 dimensional subspace of V, and hence when we talk about n volume higher than the subspace that is generated, then obviously there is no volume, and that amounts to saying that the volume is 0. Any basis of V, now these are the properties we just understand, and whenever diagram will be required, I'll just focus on the diagram so one can see the things happening in diagram also. Any basis of V must have n linearly independent vectors in V if V is n dimensional. Based on this geometric intuition, we expect the determinant function to possess some properties, of which we start with the first property, that is scaling property. You can see, you can read the screen, determinant of V1, V2 up to Vn, where one vector is alpha times Vi. Then in that case basically this determinant value can again be obtained by multiplying alpha with the determinant of vectors itself, V1, V2 up to Vn. So alpha can be taken common and it can be taken out, so that is one property, we call it scaling property, and this actually can be understood here from the n equal to 3 case in the diagram. You can see the diagram here. You can see in the diagram OR, we take the direction of OR as V3 direction of vector V3. So it has been stretched, OR has been stretched to OR dash. It is shown using yellow color, V3 and KV3. So initially the vector was V3, and now when it is stretched in the same direction, we call it KV3. So basically it has been multiplied by some number more than 1. We call that number as k, so the vector becomes kv3. Now earlier when the vector was v3, other two directions we consider as vector v1, vector v2 in the direction, and vector v1, v2 and v3 together give us a box. The bottom box you can see in the picture with the dark lines. So that box has some volume, and the moment I multiply a vector by some number k, I get the vector v3 as kv3, in which case the entire box is stretched. And so one can feel geometrically, one can easily visualize here that the volume is changing, and volume also actually changes with the same ratio. So if v3 is to kv3 is k, then volume of earlier diagram, earlier box, and the new box thus obtained will also be k times. So this is what basically scaling means, and so we are discussing about this property itself. So let us come back to the properties here. So this is the scaling property. If one of the vectors you magnify by some quantity alpha, then the entire volume gets magnified by the same quantity alpha. There is another property, interesting property called replacement property, wherein you can see the statement determinant of v1, v2, vi, vj up to vn is equal to determinant of v1, v2, vi plus vj, vj, vn. Here what we do is basically this amounts to saying that you can add any multiple of any one vector into another vector, determinant is no longer going to change. So determinant n volume basically remains unaltered by cutting and rearranging to get a singular geometric figure whose volume is easily found. We take the normalization condition. If ei, I running from 1 to n, is the chosen basis of V, then determinant we declare for the vectors chosen as 1. So this is a parallelopiped. We are talking about scaling factor here, so alpha is k is a scaling factor. We just discussed the property, and in this case we talk about the replacement geometrically. I just talk about replacement there. If you replace one of the vectors by another vector which is obtained by the linear combination of the given vectors, then the determinant does not change. So here one can easily visualize this case. We have taken n equal to 2, and 2-dimensional case we are talking about area here. 2 volume is basically area in 2 dimension. One can take in the one can see in the diagram there is a parallelopipe, in fact a parallelogram OPQR, which is obtained using vectors x and vector y. Diagonal is vector x plus y, that comes by vector law of addition. Now if I consider the vectors x and y to be generating the parallelogram, then I can see that the figure is OPQR. But suppose I consider the vectors generating the figure as x and x plus y, then the dotted line is going to give me the new picture. So OPS extreme, OPSQ, that is the new parallelogram thus formed. But because x plus y, the new vector, diagonal vector, is made up of x and y vectors, it is made by adding these two vectors, replaced basically. So y is replaced by x plus y. So we are going to talk about two type of determinant values here. The earlier determinant, the first determinant that is area of OPQR, that will be determinant of vector x and y, and in the new case area of OPSQ will be determinant of x and another vector x plus y. But from the figure one can see that it is cutting pasting type of thing happening over here. This part, triangle OQR, it has been cut from there and it has been placed in the place of PSQ. So area does not actually change. So this is what is replacement, and this is a very interesting property with the determinant, that determinant of x comma y is same as determinant of x comma x plus y. So that is what we call as replacement.
Using the properties P1, P2, P3, we have defined uniquely a determinant function from v raised to n to r, and from using these three properties, many properties can be derived very easily, and detail we don't have the time to discuss. So the properties are as follows. First is the property. The first property is if some column vector is 0, then the determinant is 0. That is, determinant v1, v2, vn equal to 0 if column vi 0 for some I 1 to n. So if one column is identically 0, then the whole determinant value is 0. Second property is, given a determinant, if you add some multiple of some column to another column, the value of the determinant remains the same. More generally, if you take any column and you take all other columns and take multiples of those columns and add to this column, the value of the determinant remains the same. That property also it is on the screen. This more generally, that property is given. Determinant v1, v2, vi, vj, vn is same as determinant v1, v2. In ith column, we are adding the scalar multiple, the multiple of all other columns, that is alpha k, vk, k1 to n, where k is not equal to I, and so on, vj, vn. Determinant value remains the same. If v1, v2, vn, this n columns, n vectors v1, v2, vn are linearly dependent, If they are linearly dependent, then the value of the determinant is 0. And converse is also true, that whenever determinant, last line, determinant v1, v2, vn is 0, then v1, v2, vn are linearly dependent. In particular, if two columns are identical, if two columns, say ith column and jth column are identical, then the value of the determinant is 0. Determinant is 0, then it is not necessary that two columns are identical. That one must observe. And now suppose some column in the determinant consists of sum of two elements, then in that case the determinant value is sum of the first elements and second elements. That property is called additive property, that you can see on the screen. This is additive property, but in one column you are doing this, in each column you can do that. So that way this property in the determinant is special in case of a determinant, not in the matrix. Second property is that we have already discussed in P1, property P1, while defining a determinant function, that is homogeneous property. That is a scalar multiple. If you take, if you magnified some side by alpha, then the whole area or volume also magnified by alpha. This property, homogeneity and additive property together defines a function, a special function called linear function. And linear function in the sense that additive and linear in each column, So not whole, determinant is not linear function. Determinant function is not linear function, but column wise, if you take, or row wise, it is linear. And that's why, because in each column we have a linearity, it is called n linear. If 2 by 2 determinant, then it is 2 linear, 3 by 3 determinant, then 3 linear. In general, n by n matrix, and you take the determinant, then determinant function is n linear. That means linear in each column, or linear in each of the n variables. Another the property, a very interesting property, is swapping. If you interchange two columns, if I and jth column are interchanged,